Hi, welcome to Fasting with Carla, and today we want to talk about overeating on your feast day. When you just start fasting, there is the possibility that you may overeat. However, remember, there will be an adjustment period. You are adjusting to a new way of life. So, that's the reason I say do not diet. Focus on the fast, because once you continue fasting, you will experience some form of appetite correction. When I just started fasting, I used to be able to eat a lot more, but I notice as I keep fasting, I do experience appetite correction to where I need less food to feel full longer. You know, when you have a little baby and you feed them, and once they're full, there's nothing you can do to get them to eat anything. So we do have that thing inside of us where we can know when we're full. But over time, with bad eating, maybe we were told that we have to eat everything on our plate. So we just feel as if, oh my God, if I don't eat this food, it's gonna go to waste. But we have to change our mindset. I would prefer to throw that food out and not put it in me when I don't need it. And then over time, you'll get so much better at knowing your portion, so you'll be able to eat until you're satisfied. But you have to keep in mind that it's going to take an adjustment period when you just start. So just be honest with yourself, and also try to not do what I call distracted eating. Don't be eating while you're on your phone or when you're watching something. Or if you think that this is too much, then share a smaller plate, eat, and then wait a bit, and then you will know, oh, if you want a little bit more, then you go have a little bit more. So start off with less, and then you can always add more if you feel. So just know that, yes, when you just start, you may overeat. However, be honest with yourself, be aware of what you're eating, and over time, it will become a lot more better. Over time, you'll get better at recognizing when you're full, and you will experience appetite correction with fasting. Another thing that can contribute to you overeating on your feast day is if you over restrict yourself. Oh, I'm not going to eat bread. I'm not going to eat rice. Don't lie to yourself. Remember, I really want you to ensure that you're doing stuff that is sustainable. It's really a different path in term when you start fasting, but you don't want to over restrict stuff that you know that you like. Now, keep in mind, yes, you do have good foods that are good for you, foods that are not. But do not go into this saying, oh, I'm just going to have vegetable and boiled chicken. If you know that that's not something that you are going to love to, if think about it this way, is this something that I would want to eat every single day for 3 months? If when you ask yourself that question, you don't see yourself eating this consistently, then don't do it. Adjust your portion. What I do is I now have a little bit less rice, and I have more vegetable and more protein. So you just adjust your plate so that you can do stuff that is sustainable. So if you over restrict yourself, then you may find yourself in a situation where now you are craving these things, because your body is going to crave these nice food. Food is lovely, food is awesome. So you want to ensure that you think about moderation instead of over restricting. Do not start anything that you cannot consistently do for 30 days. That's how I look at my eating. If I'm going to restrict something, or if I'm going to eat this, I want to know, am I going to be able to sustain this? If I have to do this for 30 days, I know I'm not going to go 30 days without having a little bit of Chinese food, or I'm not going to go 30 days without maybe wanting like a piece of fried chicken. So I'm not going to kid myself. I just know that if I'm on this weight loss journey, I'm going to have to know that even if I feel like I want like some fast food, it has to be like once a month at this point, because I'm working towards something. So you have to just keep in mind that over restricting yourself does cause you to overeat. So just bear in mind when it comes to the restrictions that you are putting on yourself, and ensure that these restrictions that you are imposing is something that you can sustain. It's not about being strong or being weak. It's about understanding yourself and being honest that I'm not going to eat boiled chicken and vegetable for 30 days. I'm not going to do it, so I'm not going to start. It's as simple as that for me. Another thing that could contribute to you overeating is not having a plan. Now, you have to ensure that you have a plan of what you're going to eat, because when you are hungry, you make the worst decisions for food. It's true. Like if you're super hungry, then you just grab whatever. Just have a plan in place, what you're going to eat. You have to be very strategic when you are fasting, when you want to lose weight, because you want to ensure that you have the foods that you need. Now, for me, what I do, because I do every other day, on my fast days, I ensure that the night before I have my overnight oats. I ensure that I have my vegetable prep for my salad for my lunch. I also ensure that I always have eggs at hand, because it's always easy to just scramble some eggs, throw it on a wrap, boom, I'm done. So I ensure that I know exactly what I'm going to have, because I need to ensure that while I'm fasting, I am thinking about how I'm going to break my fast. I'm thinking about how I'm going to nourish myself on my feast day to ensure success, because I don't want to do all of this work where I am fasting for 36, sometimes 40 hours, and then I don't see the result. And it's not even more so like, oh, seeing the weight loss. I'm talking about feeling the changes in my body, knowing that I'm eating 80% better. 80% better is what I shoot for. I'm eating 80% better. I'm ensuring that I'm getting in my greens, I'm getting in my protein. So keep those stuff in mind when you are fasting. Have a meal plan, have a plan as to what you're going to eat, so that you're setting yourself up for success. So just have a meal plan in place so that you know exactly what you are going to eat. Meal prepping is really good, and you don't have to prep everything, but ensure that at least what you are going to break your fast with, you know what you're going to eat. Another thing that can contribute to you overeating on your feast day is that thing in your head is like, oh my god, I'm not going to eat, so I need to eat all of this food. And then I know for me, when I just started, because I love to snack, so I'm like, oh, I don't want the snack to go bad, so I'm eating like more snacks than I normally do on my feast day. And what I did to combat that is I just stopped buying snacks for a while. And then, because I love snack and I always talk about not over restricting, what I did is I started to, first, when I started to purchase snacks again, I just did not purchase as much. So there's no, oh my God, this is going to go bad kind of thing that I'm wrestling with. Now, with my one bag of snacks, and what I buy is I buy the popcorners, sea salt flavor, and I love that because it's a healthier snack. One, healthier. Healthy. It's a healthier snack. And what I do is, because I love to snack, I will have a little bit of chips after my lunch. I'll have some after my dinner. So I am getting my little snack fix in, but I'm not having as much, and then I'm not thinking about oh my God, I have all of this snack and it's gonna go bad. So you have to know your triggers and also set yourself up for success. So in my case, I just purchase less snacks so I don't have to wrestle with that anymore. So in your case, try and do that. Because remember, we are all thinking in our heads, oh, we don't want the food to go, we don't want to waste food. So if you don't want to waste it, don't purchase so much. And then you won't have to feel like you need to eat everything so it doesn't go bad. So just keep that in mind, and that will help you to not overeat. And my final tip is to be flexible with your eating window. Keep in mind that not everyone is fasting. So if you have somewhere to go, or if you need to go and hang out with someone, with your friends, or if you need to go out and it's not normally when you will eat, it's okay. Give yourself grace. I'm not saying that you should break your fast and be flexible every day. That's not being flexible. But remember, this is a new way of life, and you want to be able to still enjoy how you move in this world while you fast. And being so restrictive of, oh, I have to eat this time, I have to eat, that's not going to be helpful for your mental. And also, the body doesn't respond to that. Your body is not, if you do A plus B plus C, you'll get D. That's not how the body works. That's not how, you can't just, it's not, if I do this, it's not a math problem. Your body is really smart. It knows what it needs to do for itself to protect you. So be flexible with your eating time. Be flexible with how you are incorporating fasting in your lifestyle. Be mindful of what you're eating. So I want you to be flexible with your eating time. There is no way that you can eat 4 p.m. every single day. That is not something that is sustainable. You need to be able to push yourself a little bit further with your fast, or on days when you're not able to, then you go ahead and you eat. Because especially if you're a woman, when it is close to your monthly cycle, your hormones react differently. I know for me, I really feel fasting gets harder for me like the week before my period and like a couple days into my period. But after that, I am fine. And how I know, I actually had to just be I have to pay attention to when I'm complaining, because what happened is that if I'm fasting, I'm fasting, I'm good, I'm going through my day. But if I notice that I'm like constantly saying, oh, I feel hungry, I do feel hungry, then I realize, oh, when I check the time, I realize, oh, it's like a week before my period. And then I just adjust my eating window during that time, because I'm not here for the uncomfortable ness of what happens during fasting, especially since I've been fasting for a while. So I've reached the place where I can identify if I am just hungry or I'm bored. So that's for like my first 30 days. That was something that I keep asking myself, am I hungry or am I bored? So now where I am like 5 months into fasting, I've experienced appetite correction. So I'm now more a little bit aware of like what's happening with my body in terms of like my hunger cues. So by being flexible with how I'm eating, I know that I'm maybe some of those days I won't make it to my 36-hour fast, and I'm okay with that. What I do is I set for myself a minimum fast time, and then I have my maximum fast time. Unless I am super busy, I'm not going past like 40 hours, 41 hours. And if I am going to eat, I try to eat anytime after 20 hours. So I just try to work with those times. But if I am at 19 hours and and my hunger hormone is if I'm at like 19 hours and my hunger hormone is kicking my butt, I'm going to eat. So just be flexible. Remember, with fasting, we are introducing this new way of life. We have our fasting window and then we have our feasting window. And we just want to ensure that we are doing what needs to be done in those specific periods so that we can, one, change our relationship with food, change how our body, just ensure that we are maximizing the fasting time. So fasting is something totally different. We are working on changing our relationship with food. We are learning to listen to our bodies more. So you want to ensure that you pay attention to yourself. You are honest with yourself as it relates to what you're eating, how you're feeling, because you want to ensure that you're doing what you need to do during your fasting window, which is try to do as clean fast as possible, have water, unsweetened coffee, unsweetened tea, and then during the period when you're eating, even if you have whatever we call like bad foods, you want to ensure that, one, you're not having too much of that bad food too often. You want to also ensure that you are breaking your fast with good nutrient dense food, so that when your body's coming from that fast and coming into getting food, you're not feeding it junk. I just want you to just work on being flexible with your eating time as it relates to your day-to-day, because we want to ensure that even though we are putting in these different steps, we are not derailing our efforts in our fast. Now, if you have any other questions, anything that you'd like to add, you can just add that below, and I will talk to you in the next one.